What separates a friend from a lover? At first pass, this is an easy question. Physical attraction seems like a clear dividing line. But if we put that to the side, what really changes when you're interacting with a best friend compared to a significant other? Interest, compassion, care for another person, these can be the same in platonic and romantic relationships, can't they? There's No Freaking Way I'll Be Your Lover, Unless, is a light-hearted yuri anime about a socially awkward high school girl who ends up having basically all of the popular girls in her class fall in love with her. The catch is, she just wants friends, not a relationship. Renako has been alone for a long time, but she's never lost that burning desire for companionship. As the various women around her pursue her romantically, the line between friendship and relationship is inspected, poked at, questioned. Renako, her suitors, and we as the audience confront this dynamic together, giving a surprising amount of depth to this lighthearted rom-com. So what does differentiate love from friendship? And does that dividing line even matter? Let's talk about it. Right off the bat, this is a deeply unserious show, and that's part of the fun of it. It's essentially a reverse harem anime, where Renako is fighting desperately against the never-ending assault of women who fall in love with her. This does, though, position friendship and romance in an adversarial relationship. Renako fights first against Mai, and then against both Mai and Satsuki to keep them as friends, and not enter into a romantic relationship with either of them. To Renako, these two things are incompatible. Friends and lovers do inherently different things, and she is against a relationship with Mai because it rules out her and the rest of the group as friends. The first season of the show whittles away at this feeling in Renako, and by the end of it she is in a completely different spot, agreeing to be in a relationship with Ajisai. But let's not jump ahead too fast. The show begins with Mai's confession to Renako. From here on, romantic love is in an interesting spot. It's fickle in a way. Mai falls for Renako quickly. Satsuki seemingly loathes Renako but falls for her anyway, and Renako confesses to Ajisai without even knowing it. So while Renako may be fighting tooth and nail to keep her friends from being her lovers, the dividing line between these two kinds of love is demonstrably fine. The whole bit with Mai being Renako's friend when her hair is tied up, and her girlfriend when it's down, is just a fun visual way to play around with this idea. And it makes sense, right? Renako takes Mai out on a friend date early on in the season, and reveals what being a friend means to her. She wants to protect Mai, and to make sure that she's having a good time. There's plenty of moments like this throughout the anime, where Renako is acting as a friend, but the things she's doing cause the others to fall in love with her. I don't think Renako is lying to herself, I just think it serves to further demonstrate how close these two ideas are. Now, I'm not someone who has seen a lot of Yuri or BL anime to this point, but I have a hunch that inspections of friendship and romance like this are not uncommon in the genres. It's a convenient lens through which to do it, where same-sex friendships are extremely common, and introducing romance into that dynamic is ripe with opportunities to poke and prod at the very idea of companionship itself. Where this anime stands out to me is in its choice to make Renako an introvert. By putting her on the outskirts of both romance and friendship, it lets us examine them equally from the get-go. She just wants friendship at the start, but watching this stance warp and change as she becomes accustomed to love is intriguing and satisfying. Episode 10 of the season tackles these ideas head-on. As Ajisai and Renako bathe together, we get what I think is easily the best scene in the show. After 9 episodes of Renako grappling with these contending feelings of love for her friends and bubbling interest in them romantically, Ajisai asks her what a girlfriend means to her. Lately, I feel like love and friendship aren't that different. What matters is what you want from the other person. If we both see ourselves as friends, then we're friends. And if you call it love, then it's love. I mean, that's awesome. Candidly, I was probably not going to make a video about this series until this moment. It's fun, but not something I wanted to dig into. But this is the sort of line that really makes you think, while simultaneously acting as a culminating moment for our heroine. Preempting this moment with a prolonged scene of Renako touching Ajisai's chest is very fitting for the series and rom-com anime as a whole, but don't let it detract from the gravity of the moment if you can help it. I feel like I constantly hear people saying, "I'm so lucky to be married to my best friend," or "I'm trying to find my best friend," when it comes to finding a romantic partner. We tie these two ideas together all the time in real life, so much so that no one bats an eye. What I appreciate about this anime is how it pulls back from that, and lets us see that dynamic from a bird's eye view. It raises interesting questions too about friends and lovers. This show sort of is a thesis against love at first sight. Even with Mai, who confesses almost immediately, Renako makes an emotional connection with her first before Mai falls in love. Renako, purposefully or not, woos everyone around her with her genuine care and support before they admit their love for her. So in that sense, it almost feels like friendship is a prerequisite to love in this show's opinion. Satsuki's love for Mai is another great example of this, where her protective instincts for Mai and her desire to support her also go hand in hand with her love for her. Romantic love can sort of be a byproduct of friendship, or an advanced form through this lens. In that same episode 10 I mentioned earlier, Ajisai provides her own answer to the dividing line between friends and lovers, and it's more blunt. It's whether they turn you on or not. This lines up with how I started the video. Physical attraction is a key component of romantic love, and no number of kissing the homies goodnight memes are truly going to bridge that gap. The show, though, has its own take on the matter. I would argue that it has a somewhat fluid view of attraction, and is more willing to develop physical attraction if there is that friendship in place. Renako acknowledges that Mai is beautiful from the start, but is resistant to advancing their relationship physically. As the show goes on, though, Renako is doing some combination of kissing or touching every girl around her, and is developing those feelings of attraction in her own inner monologue. Now, far be it from me to assume whether this show is saying that Renako has always liked girls and is just realizing that, or if this is brand new attraction built on her emotional feelings for them, but it's interesting nonetheless. As Renako realizes that loving someone romantically doesn't mean that you can't be friends with them, she opens up more and more to physical attraction. Mai foists her desires on her, as does Satsuki at times. But with Ajisai, Renako's attraction feels more like it originates naturally within her. From the start, she has remarked on how cute Ajisai is, and how she is drawn to her. I have a hunch that Renako will end up with Mai at the end of the day, but it's still telling that Renako ends up with Ajisai in the finale of this season. While romantic love is clearly able to be developed in the world of this anime, there still seems to be some natural urge to be with someone that Renako feels for Ajisai, and I think that's interesting. There's no freaking way I'll be your lover, unless, is a case study in how friends and lovers overlap as categories. Both are undeniably about love and caring for someone else. But this show's contribution is in blurring that line further, and arguing that jumping from one to the other is more possible than you might think. Renako starts out demanding friendship over romance, viewing them as incompatible. But as the season goes on and she gets to know the friends around her, the two ideas grow increasingly similar. Maybe loving is easy when you care about someone, and the labels of friend or lover are just that, labels, as easy to peel off and replace as a post-it note. I think that's a nice idea. And that ends this week's episode of Love and Anime. As always, if you enjoyed, liking and subscribing helps a ton, as does hitting the hype button on the mobile app. Also, thank you all of you for 4,000 subscribers. I think I'll plan something special for 5, but for here I just wanted to sincerely express my gratitude for all the support from you. As I said last week, Split Screen is on hold for the next couple of weeks as I travel, but will be back on as soon as possible. Also, I just finished my teen romantic comedy Snafu, and can't wait to talk about that on next week's Love and Anime. Stay tuned. I'm SlamAnime, and I'll catch you next time.